Before we go into anything about professional cuddlers, I first want to talk about sex work itself. I never thought I would actually be teaching my audience about sex work as a professional cuddler, but here we are. I've been a professional cuddler for over 4 years now, and I can't tell you the number of times I've been propositioned for any kind of sexual experience. I don't think I've actually gone a 6-month stretch of time in my business without it happening at least once. That's appalling. This video is on why you shouldn't be asking your professional cuddler to do sex work. And I'm going to cover a lot of topics around here, but if you're watching this video and your professional cuddler sent it to you, this is a very important video for you to watch, so please watch to the end as much as possible. For this video's purposes, sex work is going to be defined as any and all erotic services. That includes strippers, that includes sex phone operators, that includes escorts, the whole gambit of people you would go to get a sensual service of sorts. Just in that realm, just because somebody offers sex work does not mean that they do all other services that would be considered sex work. You wouldn't go to a sex phone operator asking them to have sex with you. That's not what they do. Now that we cleared that part up, let me make something even clearer. Professional cuddling is not sex work. The focus in a professional cuddling session is a therapeutic tone, not a sexual one. You do not pursue sensual arousal, and you certainly do not try to get released in a session. These are not the objectives of a session. If you're really not sure what is okay in a professional cuddling session, I highly recommend you look up the International Standard Code of Ethics for Professional Cuddlers. That has a really good outline for what we expect from our clients and what you can expect from us. Now, I do need to address this because I know there's going to be people watching this that have different experiences, so I will say this. A law called Sesta Fosta got passed. That law was meant to protect people from human sex trafficking, and what the law ended up doing, because it was so broadly painted, that it actually limited the work of a lot of sex workers. It's what's responsible for taking down Backpage, and it's why Craigslist got very limited and completely took down their classified personal section. These were very basic areas for sex workers to advertise on, so many of them scrambling, trying to figure out where to work. Many of them went to places where they could easily hide. There are professional cuddling sites that make it really easy to sign up as a professional cuddler, so they went there. I am not talking about those people for this video. I have a lot of compassion for those people, however, they are not professional cuddlers. If you saw somebody that offered those services to you as a professional cuddler, they were not being an ethical cuddler, you were seeing a sex worker. That said, even if somebody says that they're not a sex worker, you might be thinking that maybe you can get a little bit more and might be open to it. So for those of you that are thinking, well, what if I pay her more or tip her more? No! Go see an actual sex worker. If you offer more money so that you can get that kind of experience, that's not being helpful to them. That's being opportunistic and, quite frankly, predatory. How is that predatory? Well, let me tell you about power dynamics then. When you see any kind of service provider, massage therapist, energy worker, and professional cuddler, they are offering the service that they advertise to you, and you pay their rate. It's typically customary that you tip at a reasonable rate. Usually when somebody comes in for a 1-hour session, they'll usually give me somewhere between a 10 to 20% tip of the total cost. However, if you try to way over tip, sometimes double, triple what the actual cost of the service is, or you attempt to offer that to them in exchange for something other than what they're offering you, specifically sexual services, it's no longer about the service that they're offering you, and the power dynamics have shifted, and now you're the one that's offering something to them. That power dynamic is even stronger if the professional cuddler is a younger female and the client is an older male. If you are an older male and propositioning a younger female you are already using the fact that you are older and a male to your advantage, whether you realize it or not. And what's really scary to me is that some inexperienced cuddlers may not know how to say no to that, because when they're in the face of that strong of a power dynamic, they can't. Especially when they need the money. That is what is called false consent. Even if they say yes, you're holding something over their head so that their yes isn't necessarily a true yes. My personal clients usually find out pretty quickly if they try to offer me more money as a tip or a larger amount as a gift. If they're not asking for anything up front, I take it, but I take it at face value. If they try to either offer the same gift again in exchange for more services, or attempt to offer even more money or more gifts for giving them a sexual service, they get disappointed pretty quickly, because I'm not ready to do that at all. That is in itself something called grooming, and that is a very manipulative tactic. And that's a whole other problem entirely. Not actually asking for what you want, just giving money in hopes that you actually get what you want when you finally do ask it. That in itself is really manipulating. But that's a whole other video, and we don't have time for that today. So, in summary, your cuddler is your cuddler. Whether you're in a session or outside of a session, you treat them as a professional for what it is that they do. If you want something else other than that, look somewhere else. Don't bother us. And do know, if your cuddler does offer those willingly without you even prompting them, that's not what ethical cuddlers typically do. And that person is offering sex work to you. One more thing, to those that are in the sugar dating world that are convinced that, oh no, I can just offer more money and I'll get what I want, but that's not sex work. Yes, it is. I hope this teaches you a little bit about the complexities around your asks, especially to professionals that are trying to do really good work for people that are touch-starved in the world. And they're trying to do so in a therapeutic, ethical, and responsible way. And sex does not have to be involved. Please, I do support sex workers. If that's what you want, please, there's plenty of sites you can go Google and find those people. I hope you got value out of this. I hope you have a better understanding of what professional cuddlers' boundaries are and why your ask is really complex and really hard for us to answer. And please, if you're watching this video and you're realizing that, ooh, I hope I didn't hurt that professional cuddler I propositioned, please shoot them a text and tell them I watched the video. I'm sorry. It means the world to us, honestly. Thank you for watching. If you want to know more about what I do and what other professional cuddlers do, feel free to like, subscribe, all that fun jazz, and thank you and have a great day.